All right. When I say
All
action,
right.
don't say cut.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Action.
And we're back. It feels weird. It just
Oh, it's
feels too.
better.
All right. Fine.
I look horrendous. I'm all like sunburned. I just shaved. I
I think it
really
looks
can't.
good. Your hair's an interesting. It has its own natural.
I got beach texture.
You look. You know what? Your hair looks like Nick Griffin's hair. Nick Griffin's always like, he's always pushing his hand through his hair in a gesture of existential despair, and then the hair kind of looks like that.
Yeah. Boy, Griff's the best, isn't he?
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, I got nothing but beach. Oh, this is Atlantic Ocean in here.
How was your trip? I saw some pictures that looked beautiful. I can't believe you were depressed. I'm like, this is gorgeous.
I wasn't. I was peeking. I literally was sitting in the town center in Nantucket, had a cigar, and was like meditating, feeling total emptiness in a good way, selflessness. And you texted and were like, man, I'm really despairing over all this horrible climate. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? You're like, yeah, there's massive flooding. And
I guess I assume other people know what's going on. Like I didn't realize you didn't. I thought you would be in the fetal position when I texted you. I thought you knew about everything. I didn't.
no, I mean,
I didn't realize other people shut it out.
So what's it? It's Germany and then Arizona too, right?
No, what's Arizona? Oh,
Arizona has horrible droughts and floods at the same time.
Oh yeah. It's biblical. We've hit. I was thinking about that. We've hit like the Exodus, the 10 plagues.
No, I don't know anything about that shit.
The 10 plagues. Did the Jews to get out of Egypt?
I don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything. Well, anyway,
10 plagues? No, I don't give a shit about 10 plagues.
The Bible, the Old Testament.
I don't. Do I? What am I, a Bible guy? You know me to be a Bible guy.
There's a movie, The 10 Commandments. Have you heard of that?
I watched that.
That's based
10
on it.
plagues.
Well, the 10 plagues were before the 10 Commandments. But anyway, the plagues, one of them was like plague, not 10 plagues, the 10 plagues. But one of them was actually a plague, and then one of them was locusts, like the cicadas, and then one of them was flooding. Oh, wait. Maybe I'm thinking of Noah's flood. Forget everything I just said. Let's fact.
So what else is going on? Germany had 2 months of rain in 2 days.
Yeah, they just flooded. Yeah.
Well, that was crazy too, because it wasn't even like ocean flooding. That was just rain, straight rain flood.
Is that what it was?
I thought you were reading it. What the fuck?
I just read the headlines and then I freak out and text you. I don't know. I don't know the details. I just see which, by the way, these fucking headlines, it's like they're trying to get you to kill yourself.
Of course.
They're trying to get you to, like, literally the headline, because I talked to Isabella too, because she was like, forget, we all have anxiety. And then the New York Times literally had a headline, capital letters, no one is safe. Like, that's literally what it said. It might as well just say, kill yourself, you piece of shit. Like, it might as well just say that. It said, no one is safe. Picture of a fire. It's just like, we're sensitive. You can't do this to us.
But it sells papers. It makes you go, fuck, let me click on this. Let me read about this, because I'm doing it because of you and her. It was like a 1-2 punch. And I can't, now I'm finding out you guys are working in cahoots.
Well, you can't be like an anxiety guru. That's you're an anxiety guru. You help people out.
Right.
I guess you know what it was? You're like a psychiatrist on vacation, and I called you on vacation.
Yes, exactly. And psychiatrists have high rates of suicide.
Well, you should have given me your number.
That's a good point. I might change my number just for this, but we got a great podcast, and you did an episode of Mindful Metal Jacket, which is one of the most positive episodes, like the most popular episodes. Yeah, it's got tons of comments, all night, not all nice, but mostly nice, and the most views. And I got a bunch of nice messages, which is how this conversation started. I was feeling such peace and joy that I was like, let me spread the peace and joy. And I was like, hey, your episode is really touching people. People are moved, and you got a lot of new fans. And then you responded, climate change is out of control. And it literally ruined my weekend and my wife's. I mean, that's how it started. I was like, I was high.
I said, thanks for, it's good to hear that. Well, the funny thing is we had this whole episode and then I just sunk into a serious depression, like right after it. Like,
that's too bad, because it did service for others. So you sacrificed, I guess, as did I.
Yeah. I don't think it was from that, but yeah, I got to get better at, like, sometimes people give me a nice compliments and somehow in the next second, it's like it happened last night. I was, David Drake.
I don't think so. Maybe.
Really great comic. He runs the CYSK. The
Oh
comedian,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
I
know
did
that
like a
name.
long set
Yeah.
at the end, and he was like, "We're in the car driving back." I'm such an insecure bummer that he was like, "That was such a great set. You had like a bunch of closers back to back. You could have really ended on any of those, and you just had so many closers." And I'm like, "Are you saying I should have ended early? Are you saying like I missed a bunch of opportunities to get off?" And he's like, "No, that's not what I'm saying." And I'm listening to myself. I'm like a miserable person. I want to throw myself out of the car.
What you're describing is the worst kind of person. It's like you take fun and make it unfun.
I know. I'm in a bad place, but I'm getting better.
You're not in a bad place. You're at Stephen. You're in a better place. You're in a better apartment than is yours.
I think that's what's making me sad. I'm cat sitting at Caitlin's right next to you. And my quality of living has gone up so much, but that's like sad on its own because I'm like, oh shit, this is how other people live. I live in like that first place in the movie Seven. You know, they break in with the fat guy. That's like it's like dark, and there's just like a bunch of spaghetti cans everywhere. It's like a depressing environment, and it's so nice here. Just plants. Do you have plants?
No plants, but the entire building smells like trash. We came home from 4 days vacation, and the building smells like trash.
I mean, that's not me. That's not me.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I've been shitting in the living room like everyone else. That's how you do it, right?
I think we're gonna be okay. I think we'll be fine. Not fine,
we're gonna be great.
We'll be okay.
Yeah, but my issue is I'm always just like I just go to a crazy place. I'm like, what are we? Is it going to be Mad Max like in 2 weeks? What's going on? And then you just talk to me like, no. It's just
a storm. It passes. Then everybody helps each other out, and then it recedes. And
once we get out of the summer, we'll be good. I feel like the summer you just feel global warming viscerally. You know what I mean?
Well, the winter is what scares me. It's like 70 degrees on Christmas, and then
that's nice. That's like the perks of global warming.
And we haven't even hit hurricane season. I mean, like September, October. That's where you hit with the hurricanes.
Oh, really? Yeah, we'll be fine. They don't have hurricanes here in New York, do they?
Every once in a while. Now they're coming up, and that's the whole thing. Is like the oceans are warming and the thing. So then the hurricane. But let's get to some film.
Yeah, let's get to some films
because we got a lot of great questions here. Anyways, check out the Mindful Metal Jacket with Raanan. It was great. People loved it. This is a nice easy one. This is just for you, not me. Although I can answer. Is Raanan a money Jew or a book Jew?
I mean, that's no question. I'm a book Jew all the way. I'm doing a little better now, but I've been broke my whole life. That's like the one Jewish stereotype I really break is the money one. I'm very generous when I have money, which I don't ever have. So I'm like hypothetically generous, but I'm also always broke. So that I confirm every other Jewish stereotype to an irritating degree, I'd say.
Yeah, neurotic, irritating, smart,
insecure,
reads,
anxiety,
but attractive.
The broke thing. The broke thing is I'm not a money Jew, but books. I fucking read 4 books a day. Yeah.
Yeah, you just referenced the Bible,
the old Bible. Yeah. First book.
All right. What is your opinion on the best World War II movies?
Oh, well, I guess I didn't. Well, we didn't do an episode on World War II, did we?
I think people have come late to the podcast because one guy's like, talk about all the Boston movies and rank them. I'm like, that was a full episode.
Make fun of Raanan for having bad opinions. We haven't done that yet.
World War II specific is. I got an answer.
I got an answer locked and loaded.
Oh, it's going to be the Michael J. Fox thing. Hamburger Hill. Wait, that's Vietnam.
No, it's Casualties of War. That's Vietnam. Yeah.
Right.
No, my favorite World War II movie is Letters from Iwo Jima.
Oh, that's Clint Eastwood?
By the great Clint Eastwood, one of my favorite directors. Yeah.
Incredible that can't movie. Be true that he's one of your favorite directors.
He is one of my favorite directors. I love Clint Eastwood. I mean, he's made a lot of shit, but Mystic River, Unforgiven, A Perfect World, $1 Million Baby, and Letters from Iwo Jima are some of my favorite movies. But have you seen Letters from Iwo Jima?
No, we talked about this.
It's a great movie because it shows it from the other side. It shows it from the Japanese. And so I think that's what I want from a war movie, to see like a different perspective. And it's just a beautiful movie about it. It has no political agenda. It's a powerful movie about, patriotism and survival and what it takes and, not trying to die for your country and all this shit. It's just a brilliant movie.
I'll have to check it out, but the Rifleman or whatever the fuck that movie's called,
American Sniper.
That is the worst movie I've ever seen ever.
What's your favorite?
Gran Torino is one of the worst movies ever. Those are literally two of the worst movies of all time.
So he's a good director who I don't think can tell what a good script is. So like if he has a good script, it's really great. But yeah, Gran Torino
and Mystic River we talked about in a full episode. It's like it's okay. There's like so many horrible things about it.
Hey, let me ask you this though, a little side question. What's your favorite movie that starts with American in it?
Starts with American?
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole
there's a lot of American Splendor, American Gangster,
American Graffiti, American Hustle, American Psycho,
American History X,
American Beauty.
Oh, that one stinks.
Yeah,
American Beauty I hate.
American History X stinks.
I really like American Gangster, although that movie's is complete bullshit.
None of it's true.
No, none of it's true. I mean, the idea that like this guy overtook the Italian mob is just insane. I mean, there's so many things. When you go through, it's just insane. I think we talked about this too. God, we're starting to run into reruns. But Russell Crowe also was not, didn't have a kid at all. The real character.
Was he Jewish at least?
Probably
because he had that chai in the movie, I believe.
What?
That's how they always show a Jew in a movie. The the chai.
No, Star of David?
Life. No, it's Hebrew for life. It's like the hey and the yud. It's two letters together. It's in a necklace. It means life. A lot of times when they want to show someone's real Jewy in a movie, they'll have them just have a high necklace over their Jewy chest hair, and that's like the way to show you're a Jew.
We got to kick it into gear. This is the worst episode ever. we got. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? All right. Worst famous. Wait, hold on. I had so many good questions. I'm so bad at this. Any chance you guys could do Mike Lee movies at some point? Concentrate on Secrets and Lies and Naked. I think definitely would like to do that, right? I mean, we love Secrets and Lies.
Love Secrets. I put you onto that, right?
I believe you did. Yes.
Yeah, Secrets and Lies is amazing. Except the only flaw in Secrets and Lies is they have that title plug-in. That's the one part that's bad. Did we talk about that?
Oh, like Gone, Baby, Gone.
Yeah, he literally at the end goes, "These secrets and lies are tearing us apart." It's just like a little, it's hard to do a good title plug-in.
Yeah, it is. There's not many great ones. We talked about this last week too. Oh my God, this is a goddamn rerun.
All we said last week was You Can Count on Me was a good version because they don't do the title plug-in. They do the title suggestion plug-in.
Right.
It's like the Louis bit. You're making me think the N-word in my head, except you didn't say N-word.
Speaking of Louis, someone says, "Can you do a podcast just with Louis, please?"
No, hold on. Was that question to me or to you?
It was just to me. Are you going to do Wes Anderson? Yes, we'll do Wes Anderson. I love Wes Anderson. Would love to hear Raanan discuss more in depth on how Kathleen Madigan influenced his stand-ups. And I'd love to hear you two. This is the same guy. Tear 3 Billboards apart. I loved it, but interested in hearing your perspective. I did a whole solo podcast on how bad 3 Billboards is. I assume you hated 3 Billboards. I don't know if we ever talked about it.
I did not like it. No,
it's the worst movie ever. I mean, that is like maybe the worst good or popular movie ever. Worst Oscar-winning movie ever.
It was just so illogical the whole time. Like the whole movie just has no logic. I just remember thinking like none of this makes any sense.
Absolutely, and I haven't seen it in so long, so I would point people to join the Tuesdays with Stories Patreon as well as our Patreon. The Tuesdays with Stories Patreon, I did a full 30 minutes just on why it is such a piece of shit, but nobody talks like that. None of it made sense. It was so bad on every single level.
You know what? I haven't seen it in a while, but you know what I think at the core just did not make sense to me is that she is so fed up at the police department for not finding the killer. She starts doing vigilante shit towards the police department, like throwing a Molotov cocktail in the police department. And I'm like, if you're going to do that much vigilante shit, why don't you just focus that vigilante energy on catching the killer? Like, It makes no sense that you're like, you care so much about law and order that you're willing to blow up a police station to get them to like at that point, you would just find the killer yourself.
That's insane. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And I mean, she's so unlikable. She's so shitty. At one point, she whips food in her son's face, and that's supposed to be.
She's she's kind of losing a lot of credibility over the years, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Between the fucking roles and then the bad Oscar speeches, they keep on giving her Oscars, and she keeps on making more annoying speeches.
Yeah, horrendous speeches. But there was also, by the way, when she throws the Molotov cocktail, a guy doesn't know because he's listening to his music on headphones.
He doesn't hear.
He's in the building. It like lands next to him, and the whole thing is exploding. But he's got his headphones on. Best
noise cancellation technology is very good.
It's just asinine. I mean, the whole thing is fucking asinine. It's like I just hate that movie.
It's just so like contrived. Doesn't like the girl before she gets murdered, she leaves, and he's like, doesn't the mother just literally be like, or she's like, I hope you get raped and murdered or something. Don't they literally say the thing that happens to her? Like,
yeah, something like that. I can't remember. I'll have to watch it again. You know what we'll do? We'll watch it, and then we'll do a full bonus just trashing it.
That would be great. Yeah, I'd be down to that. Also, I mean, I know you don't care, but Cassie Madigan's influence on me was a lot to do with talking about my family and personal stuff, which I never did before.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, she's the only one that's ever done that. This guy asks favorite Hitchcock leading man. He says he's a Jimmy Stewart guy. I mean, my favorite movie of Hitchcock is Rear Window, and I love Jimmy Stewart. I mean, just a Jimmy Stewart guy overall. So, I mean, how many like Hitchcock leading men are there?
Well, you got Cary Grant.
Yeah, he stinks.
What?
He's not. He's like whatever. He's no Jimmy Stewart. Cary Grant is just Cary Grant. He's just like, hello. I was watching earlier An Affair to Remember, and he's just Cary Grant being Cary Grant. He doesn't stink. He's a great movie star. Blah blah blah. But he ain't Jimmy Stewart. He ain't exactly fucking bringing the heat. Cary Grant.
Yeah, no. I guess. I mean, it has to be Jimmy Stewart just because. Though honestly, I mean, actually, no. I take it back. I think the best performance in a Hitchcock movie is Tony Perkins.
I don't like that you call him Tony. I don't get this. What is he, your fucking buddy? Who calls him Tony? I've never heard anybody say Tony Perkins ever once.
TP, T-Dog, Tony Perkins.
It's Anthony Perkins.
No, they call him Tony Perkins on the credits, don't they?
What? No, of course not. No one was called Tony in 1958. It was illegal. Or 1960. I have to correct that because I'm saying it as like a funny number.
Yeah.
But I know I'll get 17 emails be like, it came out in 60. Worst episode ever.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best performance in a Hitchcock movie.
Well, I love Abergast. What's that actor's name? I forget him. He's in 12 Angry Men. He's fantastic.
Wait, in what movie?
The guy that plays Abergast in Psycho. I forget his name. Martin. It's something Martin.
Yeah, is this the guy from West Side Story?
Maybe. I don't care about West Side Story. It sucks.
Yeah, the private eye in Psycho.
Yes, and he's so great. The best scene in the whole movie is when him and Tony are going back and forth, and he's like, "So then she came. Oh, so she did come in. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere." That just is an amazing scene, and he's great in 12 Angry Men. Something Martin, Brother Martin, Steve Martin.
I feel like Anthony Perkins the third or whatever. I feel like his performance feels so modern, and like I think it's underrated. Like I'm upset he wasn't in more movies. Like I think I looked at his credits once. He was just in Psycho 2. Like it's just like I think he's great. He feels like a Brando. His acting, you always see the great actor in those old movies because everyone else in the movie is like, see here, how's it going? And then the main guy's just all natural, like every Brando movie, they're like, hey, here, and then Brando's like, nah. Like it's like a whole different style. That's how I feel like he is in that. Yeah,
it's weird because the movies in the 60s got really cheap, and 50s too, basically. I mean, they were all very like, we're on set and it's very theatrical, but there's like some of those standout performances, and Perkins is definitely one of them. And
where it's like you have none of that 50s rhythm. Like everyone has it except for those couple of great actors.
Right.
Like Brando's just like, was it awkward for everyone else when Brando's on set and we're all like, hey, we're all doing the, hey, here, say.
Right. I bet it was like comedy where there's a lot of guys like, look at this fucking idiot. Like in the 50s or whatever, where everyone's in button-up suits going like, I got to make my own bed. And then they gave me a hammer and nails. And then Richard Pryor's like, I've been fucking hookers my whole life. And they're like, They're like, who's this asshole cursing? Look at him. He's wearing red.
Yeah, I guess they're like, yeah, he hasn't said one C here, you know? He hasn't raised his fist once in the air. Going, oh, I gotta.
Yeah, he's like, where are all the puns, for God's sakes?
I guess you're probably right.
All right, what about this one? Favorite actor's worst roles?
Favorite actor's worst roles.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, Robert De Niro, everything post 1995. I mean, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Robert De Niro stuff.
Yeah, here's the thing about De Niro, in my opinion. I think he's a bad comedic actor because you know what it is? Like, the best comedic actors kind of play it straight, but he was playing it straight for so long. I think he felt like to do comedic, he had to show he was being funny. So he's like a little broad. It's like, no, just do what you were doing before. Just do that. Instead, he like upped it. So all his comedic shit sucks.
And he's hilarious, but he's hilarious in Goodfellas and King of Comedy.
Because he's like being serious. Like, just be serious again. Just do that again with a funny script. But instead, he's all like over the top and shit, trying to be funny.
Like Leslie Nielsen. He's playing it completely straight. Or Jay Peterman in Seinfeld.
You gotta play
John,
straight.
whatever.
You gotta play it straight. That's why, Jeff Bridges is not like, he's not like a Jim Carrey, but he gives one of the greatest performances ever in Big Lebowski, comedic performances in Big Lebowski, you know?
Yeah, he's just nailing it.
Yeah.
Was the movie Deep Throat really as culturally as important as it was led to believe it was, as we were led to believe it was, in your opinions? I mean, that's hard because I'm sure if everyone says it is, I guess it must be, right? I don't know anything about that. I wasn't around then. I've never been a porn guy.
Well, Pauline Kael famously wrote a review about it.
Oh, God, here we go.
No, that's all I know. I don't know anything else outside of that. I've never seen it. Is it like, that's just a porn, right? Where they're, I guess,
I think so, but, like Boogie Nights, which I'm rewatching Boogie Nights for the first time in a little while. Where are you at Boogie Nights? Like, Boogie Nights has like tonal issues to me.
First half great, and then it just falls apart.
Yes, agreed. But also, like, tonally, you're like, is this a mockumentary? Is this a sketch, or is it supposed to be serious? Like, there's some of the jokes are like John C. Reilly and Wahlberg together. It almost like as an SNL sketch.
Yeah, it feels like Anchorman a little.
Yes, completely. It's very strange. It's I'm like I am genuinely confused by tone in Boogie Nights at different times.
I like it. I mean, I guess I like watching it the first.
I love it. Sorry, I just want to say that. I love it.
I mean, it's definitely funny and fucked up at times, but I mean, I don't know. It has that kind of like, I guess the tone works for me for the first half, but then it gets too, like, there are parts of it that are just too cartoony in the second half. Like the part where Don Cheadle's like needing money and the guy just comes in and just kills everyone. And there's just some money right there. Like, it's just like so like just contrived and like thrown in there, like forced into there, His
character to me is a little sketchy. He's just like he's a black cowboy in the 70s, just a little like perfectly sad at times. It's weird. I love Boogie Nights. I do think it is a slightly overrated film of the 90s.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, it doesn't like it at a certain I can't remember why I thought this, but like you watch it again, you're like, this is the momentum in the first half is amazing. And then at a certain point, you're like, oh, it doesn't really go anywhere. Like, it really does like coast first half. Let me ask you this though. I was oh sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was watching just because I mentioned Anchorman. Where do you stand on Anchorman?
I haven't watched Anchorman in a long time. People may be surprised by old Uncle Joe. I am not a huge comedy film guy post high school. There's some that I love. I really love old school. I love Borat. But most of my favorite comedies are, Caddyshack, which you hate for some reason, which is stupid. Blues Brothers, which you hate, which is stupid. And Naked Gun and Cable Guy, Ace Ventura. What?
Which I love, Naked Gun. I'm in complete agreement. I was like rewatching Anchorman. And I'm like, I'm going to get shit for this. Is going to be like maybe a whole new. It sucks. It sucks. You know what it is? They're trying to be funny the whole time. And it's just not real, but it's also not like funny enough to justify. They're themselves. They're just having too much fun. And it's like obnoxious. Like, at no point I like funny that feels real, and at no point does any moment of it feel real. So it just doesn't make it that funny to me.
It's weird. I get my comedy more from stand up, obviously, Seinfeld, Curb. I mean, I'm a Seinfeld and stand up guy.
Yeah.
And Curb, which I was just watching a moment ago.
Curb's amazing.
And most comedy movies I just don't get as into. I don't people are gonna hate me for this. I don't love John C. Reilly in comedy. He's funny, but I'm like, why does he get to be a comedian? I don't get it. Is he a dramatic actor? Is he a comic actor? What's going on here?
I feel the way about Paul Rudd. People are like, Paul Rudd's hilarious. No, he's not. You just want to fuck him. He's just cute. Like, he's not funny. He's a cute.
That's like me.
Yeah, he's a cute guy. Exactly. That's what we all say about you. He's a cute guy, but he's not funny. Why are we acting like he's, how did he sneak in as some kind of like fucking, like it somehow went Charlie Chaplin and Paul Rudd, like he's sneaking into the comedy lineup. He's just a fucking, he's just a hot guy.
There's a few of those guys. I mean, John Krasinski on The Office is about as funny as fucking ball cancer. and I mean, there's several others that are just, I'm like, I don't understand why this is funny, what he's ever said that was funny. I've seen some of these guys, they slip and fall and it's not funny.
And it's also like, I like when, like, to me, it's like Big Lebowski, the funniest movie, because no one's trying to be funny. They're just hilarious characters, you know? But in something like Anchorman, the whole idea is you get the idea that the actors themselves, they want you to know they're actors trying to riff and be funny the whole time. And it like ruins it for me.
Yeah, no one wants to be around someone who thinks they're funny.
Yeah, they all think they're funny. Like it's like the Judd Apatow. Every Judd Apatow movie. I want to see movies about relationships. Every Judd Apatow movie just feels like you're watching like writers in a Comedy Central roast, like in the writers' room. They're all just like riffing, like they all just have a team of writers and roasting each other. The least funny thing is people roasting each other in a movie.
Yes. Yeah. Trying to pull off funny banter is almost impossible.
Yeah. At no point in Big Lebowski is anyone trying to be funny.
Right.
You know, there might be some witty lines, but you know, like Walter's hilarious because he's just an insane person. That's what's funny. You know, Will Ferrell thinking of some kind of funny little like goofy line that he riffed right there or whatever. It's just not. Yeah. I don't like it. Anchorman sucks.
Fuck you, Anchorman.
Fuck you.
Fuck
but
you.
I love Borat. What's the last great comedy?
I think this movie, The Overnighters, or The Overnight. I always forget the name of it. I talked about this on Rogan with I forget their fucking name. Adam Scott and the guy from Rushmore, who's the best, Jason Schwartzman.
It's really good. The Overnight.
You got to watch it. It's like 85 minutes long, independent movie, small movie, all in one house. It is fucking hilarious. It's hilarious. You'll love it. Amazing movie. Great movie. Absolutely hilarious. And no one's fucking heard of it. I'm doing my best to spread the word. I talked about it on Rogan. No one gave a shit because I'm boring. And here on this show. Usually
I need 3 recommendations to see a movie.
I hope I'm worth 3. I mean, for God's sake, we have a movie podcast together. I'm a comedian. I mean, I'm a film buff. I'm just plain old buff, and I'm a comedian. That's 3.
Well, yeah, and I think you've actually recommended it 3 times at this point. So, you know.
All right, well, it's going to appear in the mirror. All right, here's an interesting one. Of the 50s and 60s starlets, who is your biggest crush? I'm just going to answer mine before I cut you off.
Gene Kelly.
What?
Gene Kelly.
You're saying Gene Kelly?
Wait. I mean,
what? Seriously?
I mean, Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly. Yes, that's what I was going to say.
That's what I meant to say. Grace. I thought we were going to say it at the same time, but
that was like Boogie Nights. That sketch scene where they try to say it at the same time. Yeah, Grace Kelly's the hottest. It's not even close. It's like it's
Gene
insane.
Kelly. He's like a
Gene
male
Kelly's from singing in the rain. Who's also amazing and sexy.
We were about to have a perfect moment, but I accidentally came out. But no, fucking Grace Kelly is
hottest woman ever.
Hottest woman. Yes,
because and you can't even back then. It's crazy. It's even sexy because there's no like paparazzi of her and with a nipple slip or her in a bathing suit or anything. You just see her in these dresses and you're like, oh, there's a little black lace. So you just get to imagine what her perfect tits look like.
And it's like she's like modern hot because a lot of these old movies, I'm like. I watch like Maltese Falcon and they act like it's a real day, like a femme fatale. And it looks like an old grandma.
They're fat.
They're like pale and fat. And everyone's like, she's so sexy. Humphrey Bogart, stay away from. And she looks like my fucking Aunt Sharon. And he's just like somehow seduced by her. Like they're all ugly and they have the tits with the cones. It's just like a weird.
Big dumb fat tits. Yeah.
Cone head tits. But like Grace Kelly, she doesn't have the cone head tits. She has like a modern style. She's like modern hot. She's not pale and fat and like, that Mona Lisa look that was hot for like 400 years. She's like modern hot.
Yeah, and she's just the blonde. I mean, a Rear Window. I mean, I could jerk off to it if I in a pinch.
Oh yeah, I could. I mean, I jerk off to. I think I have maybe.
You always take it too real when we talk jerk off. And always your face change and your tone gets weird. It's too much. I'm like, we're trying to have fun here, and you're like, oh, dude. Yeah.
I jacked off to it yesterday. Here's the Cub stains. No, Grace Kelly. I don't even know who else is hot. I feel like it's just her. Katharine Hepburn looks like my grandma. Fucking
even Marie Saint's cute.
She's all right, but she has the cone tits and
Here's two great questions. I think you're gonna like both these questions. Petey Hendricks and Kevin M. I don't know which one to do first. All right, I'll do this one. If Rick Moranis stuck at it, would he ever have received a supporting Oscar nomination? I think he could have. That's a great question. Great point. Great thought.
Well, the question is, of course, would he go serious?
Yeah, I think he would go serious, and it would be around long enough. Because those guys, if you're around long enough, they toss you an Oscar nod, like you with a late night. They're like, let him do 5. He's been around a bit.
That's 100% true. It's so hard because he's never done anything remotely serious, right?
I mean, he shrunk the kids. That's pretty serious. I mean, you got small kids walking around.
Tragic moment, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to imagine if he could be like in an independent film where he gets out of prison from being like a pedophile and he's like going back to his like hometown and like, yeah, I guess I could see.
Or a Tarantino. He could be one of these Tarantino guys. He throws Moranis in there. He's like a scientist. He's figuring out something.
I don't see it. I see him like a Dan Aykroyd. I don't think he'd make the switch.
I think he could. I like it. I like this. He can still do it. Maybe he comes back. He's got punched. Maybe
what happened? His wife died and he became like a single mom, or what happened?
No, I think he blew up the kids and
he shrunk his wife and she disappeared. And then No,
is that what happened? Something happened. I know he had kids. I think his wife died. Like, I gotta, I mean, we should change to a serious tone here. We got tonal issues like Boogie Nights.
You're talking to me like I'm a sociopath. Like, oh, you need to pretend you're upset.
Yeah,
change your emotion.
No, I think he bowed out. I think he does some plays maybe or sing. I'm making all this up. I have no idea.
Yeah, he's in Streetcar Named Desire. Yeah, I remember that from last year.
Why not? He can't do a play. I'm talking like a local,
regional theater. Nah, he's out. He hasn't done anything.
So how does he make money? No, he does voiceovers.
He make money.
I think he does voiceover.
He's got Ghostbusters on TV every other day. No, he doesn't do. He hasn't done shit. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, he does voiceover.
He's not in like Fences in fucking like Omaha.
I'm telling you, he's doing voiceover shit. I'm gonna pull it up. I wish we had a producer.
Pull it up. I mean, once you're like that rich, I think you're rich.
Are you kidding me? Rick Moranis rich? Do you understand how much money things cost?
But like
property tax and shit. What do you think? He's just like cruising on this?
He's got points on Ghostbusters and Little Shop of Horrors.
Do you think he has points?
He's got points.
All right, right here. Boom.
What?
Television. 2020. Prop culture. Oh, wait. This is like a talking head thing.
Yeah.
Here it is. Video games. Flintstones. Brother Bear. 2003. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's like when his wife died.
All right. Best comedy album, 2006. He was nominated for a Grammy.
What?
Moranis' wife married costume designer Ann Belsky. They had 2 children, a boy and a girl. Belsky died of cancer in February 91. He then left the public life to become a full-time single father. Then he got punched in the faces on here.
I think I don't know. I think when you're that famous, you just have money, don't you?
Well, he'd have to invest. I mean, that famous? How many people know who Rick Moranis is? But under 30.
But okay. What about that? He was on that Canadian sketch show, right? SCTV?
SCTV, yes.
So that's royalties. Think about that. That's like SNL of Canada.
It depends on what kind of life he's living. If he's on the Upper West, which it sounds like, I mean, that's maybe he has rent control. If he has rent control, he could coast off some of these things. But yeah. I mean, you got to go on vacation. You got 2 kids. He's probably sent them to private school. You got property tax. I have wealthy friends. This stuff adds up.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe he is having to do like regional theater or whatever.
Well, that he does for fun, I'm saying. If I know him like I think I do. Who knows? But here's another great question. I think he could have. Which all-time movie characters, not actors, characters would be your top choice for fuck, marry, kill? And he just wrote F because he wanted to keep it clean.
Wait. Oh, who are? Usually you get 3 people, then you choose fuck, marry, kill. We have to choose.
That's a good point, but I'm saying like I think he's saying who would you like to fuck, who would you like to
marry,
kill?
who would like to kill?
Well, obviously,
characters, not actors.
Characters, whatever Grace Kelly's name is in Rear Window. I mean, that's up there. Which Jimmy Stewart doesn't even want to fuck her. He's like, you got to get out of here.
Get out. You're sleeping over there. Get out of here. Yeah.
He's like 78. He's got a broken leg.
She's like, can I please sleep over? As long as you don't do any funny stuff.
I think kill has got to be Nurse Ratched, right? Don't you want to kill Ratched?
Nah, I want to fuck Ratched.
Good point, because she chokes or she gets choked.
She's got those big tits.
What? Ratched?
Yeah.
No, she's got whatever tits.
She's got big tits, doesn't she?
Not in the movie. Maybe like the actor. You can't take in the actress's account into the character. They don't show her tits.
But she has big tits in the book.
Come on with the book. I'm eating over here. You can't bring up the book.
But
it's a movie podcast.
I think she has a rack in the movie too, doesn't she?
I guess arachnophobia. I don't know, but
I'm trying to think. So characters you'd want to fuck. Yeah, I guess Grace Kelly. No, I don't know. Actually,
it's hard. The fuck one is hard because character is just an actor.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
I mean,
can we just change it to actors? It's not like I wouldn't fuck Scarlett Johansson in Black Widow, but I would fuck her in Lost in Translation. I'd fuck her in any character. You know what I mean?
By the way, Grace Kelly, Rear Window, that could be a marry too. She's up for adventure. She's fun. She loves you. She's like a subservient type, you know.
I never understood about marry, fuck, kill. Like when you marry, can you still have sex with them? Because that would be the person I want to have sex with the most. A lot of people are like, no, you have to marry and never have sex. I'm like, well, that's a terrible marriage.
That's ridiculous. You can marry them and continue to fuck them a bunch.
Well, then the person you want to fuck is obviously the one you want to marry because you want to fuck them.
Yeah, but they're an asshole.
Yeah,
there's people I want to fuck, and I wouldn't want to marry.
Well, you don't think Grace Kelly's an asshole, do you?
Well, now you're trying to throw in Grace Kelly to make your point that obviously I disproved.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, if you want to fuck someone who's not so the fuck one is basically someone you think is hot, but you think is annoying, and the marry one is someone you want to fuck that you don't think is annoying.
You want to fuck them, but you would never marry them, which there's plenty. I imagine there's plenty of people like that. If there's not people like that for you, you've got mental problems.
I think for me, I'm trying to think who that would be. Probably like Anne Hathaway. I think she's so hot, but she seems pretty annoying.
Yeah, I got some stories that aren't for sharing about how annoying she is. I think she's very annoying.
So hot.
So hot. Yes.
So I would fuck her.
And great. She's a great actor, too.
She's a great actress. But honestly, she's so hot, I might marry her and be annoyed just to keep on fucking her. That's where you got to consider. Like, someone has to be so annoying that you don't want to fuck them more than once. That's pretty annoying.
There's still a difference. You're showing such a fucking unbelievable misunderstanding of what marriage is. You could commit them to life as a partner when you're sick, when they're sick.
Well,
it's not just about like I'm gonna fuck them 7 times. Like you gotta pick someone to marry.
Well, we're having a hypothetical conversation.
I know, but let's have it within the boundaries of.
All right, fine. So who do I want to take care of when they're sick?
Yes, that's part of it. Marry, like you go on adventures, you got to bounce bits off them. You got to go on a trip. You know what I mean?
Well, then I guess we do have to go with the characters because I don't know these actors from Adam. We have to go with the characters.
That's what brings us back to his question.
This guy is correct, 100% right. You thought about it more than us. All right. Well, I'd marry Marge from Fargo.
But do you want to fuck her all the rest of your life? That doesn't seem like a fuck.
No. I'm trying to have a good marriage. I feel like she'd be a good marriage. She's supportive.
I got cum in my teeth or something.
What's going on?
I got something in my teeth.
It's like you're about to take your dentures off. It looked like you're like
my dentures. I got crooked dentures. Yeah, this is tough.
Like
this is the kind of stuff we have to think about a little bit, you know? Marriage. It's gonna be someone really great and sweet.
I'll tell you who I'd marry. You know who I fell in love with the most out of any movie? I don't know why. It was a certain time. Lily James from Yesterday.
Oh yeah, this movie that you like that no one saw.
Love Yesterday. Yeah, I would marry her.
Oh, what about Natalie Portman in Garden State? That's a
No,
choice.
she's a manic pixie girl. She's like, it's not a real thing. Once you'd marry her, you realize there's something weird about her. The fact that
Right.
she's like like the girl who just wants to listen to your album, like the songs you love. That's like a bad girl for you. You want the girl who's like, shut up. I don't want to hear your fucking music, you piece of shit. That's the girl you want.
No, that's the girl I want to fuck. The girl that's like, you piece of shit, shut your mouth, and then spits on me and comes in my ass.
But you want someone who's not like her, like she's a made up woman. Like those manic pixie girls are bad for a relationship.
All right. Maybe you're right.
I would fuck Natalie Portman from The Professional, and I would.
She's young, right? That's the joke.
It's weird when someone else doesn't laugh. Like
I was sorry. I was thinking. It's hard with this podcast because I got to react, but I'm also trying to
there's
think
that
of
like
good answers.
window where I just sound like a pedophile because no one's
Dude,
laughing.
I had that yesterday. I made a joke in a van with a bunch of people in a van, ironically, about hot middle school kids, and it was like mixed company, and nobody responded. And it was just like, well, this is
like,
weird.
I'm not a, you're just like, that was a joke. Well, it's like yesterday I was doing a bit, like, it's like a funny bit of ranting about women not wanting to fuck me, but it's like a funny bit, but no one was laughing. So it just looked like I was on stage just doing an incel rant. Like it just looked like, I wasn't trying to be angry. It was like funny, but if no one laughed, it just seems the other emotion,
Right.
But anyway,
This is tough. We're gonna have to come back to this. I mean,
like to come on Natalie Portman's 13-year-old tits.
oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. I'm trying to think of movies. I'm like Jaws, the wife in Jaws. She's pretty sexy and supportive.
She's not that sexy.
She is. She's like, they're like, want to get drunk, fool around. I mean, that's pretty hot.
I feel like you just picked the least sexiest character in
I'm
film
just
history.
thinking of movies, and Jaws comes to mind first.
Jaws.
What about Drew Barrymore in E.T.? Is that too to kill? I mean,
To kill, yes.
these pedophile jokes are really going to get us in trouble here.
Is it more disturbing to kill a kid or fuck a kid? To kill a kid, right?
No, it's more disturbing to fuck a kid. This is no good. This is bad. Potter.
All right, fine.
No, fucking a kid is more, because killing a kid is just like whatever. They're annoying. You kill them.
Right. Fucking kid is much worse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like horrific. It's horrendous. I mean, I don't even like making jokes about it.
Just quit throwing me under the bus.
What about Jenny in Forrest Gump? Well, you can't marry her. Once she's
No.
recovered from drugs and alcohol,
She has
maybe.
AIDS. You literally picked someone with AIDS.
That's a good point.
No, I'm going here.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Leah Thompson in All the Right Moves or Back to the Future.
All right. She's pretty cute. Yeah.
She's cute. She's fun, and she like wants to fuck. I mean, she's like horny. She's young horny. And later she's a lush. You'd have to have like alternative 1985.
Was it her? It's her. No. Leah Thompson's the mother, right?
Yes.
And then Elizabeth Shue is
Elizabeth Shue is in the sequel.
Well, there's that hilarious, like, just classic sexist 80s trope in the second one where they're like, all right, she's in the car, but I don't want to have to write it for a woman character. Let's just have her pass out and just dump her somewhere for the movie. Like, they literally just do that.
Well, that's not sexist. That's the whole plot. We had this argument before, I think. I think it might be the whole plot. Right. They put her in the future because the thumbprint, so they put her in the future home. Then she sees herself.
Yeah, but it's definitely a way to get rid of a woman character,
All right, whatever. But I just thought of one, and you fucked me on it. Hold on. Elizabeth Shue in Cocktail. That's it.
Oh yeah.
She's so hot, and she's fucking Park Avenue multimillionaire.
Yeah.
She's got the money. Because why not marry someone with money if you can?
That's a good point. You want to marry someone with money,
especially you.
Yeah, you're right. I would go with I would marry Lily James from Yesterday. Fuck.
All right. Thanks for picking a movie that no one ever saw, but
fuck Anne Hathaway from
Brokeback.
No, I don't like her in Brokeback. She's too bossy, and I don't like her looking that. It's too like country. I like her in Batman.
Oh yeah.
That would be good.
That's
with the
outfit.
outfit. Yeah,
Outfits. Yeah, the black.
I'd
and
have
heels
her.
and the thing.
I'd have her stomp on me. Yeah, that would be great. Like her. Yeah, her as Catwoman, and kill Frances McDormand in any movie from the last 5 years.
3 Billboards. Yeah, I want to kill that lady. That lady sucks. How about doing an episode of Oliver Stone movies? I'd love to hear you talk about JFK.
By the way, we spent like an hour on that question. I hope
that's a great question. Good job, Petey Hendricks. Oliver Stone. I'd love to do Oliver Stone. You hate Oliver Stone.
I hate him, but I'll do it. I'll love to talk
ridiculous.
shit. We haven't talked shit in a while. Our podcast became just a jerk off fest. We got to go back.
Well, we could do JFK because I think it's like one of the best movies. It's in my top 17.
Hate JFK.
That's
fucking
ridiculous.
hate the Vietnam one.
Platoon, we talked about.
Platoon.
I love Platoon, but I hate it also, but I love it.
Natural Born Killers. Yeah. I hate him. I'll talk about it till the cows come home because I hate his views on shit. He's such a simplistic fucking douche.
I mean, JFK is amazing, just amazing. Such a fucking unbelievable movie, literally unbelievable. But it's great. What are the most pretentious non-Sorkin movies you have ever seen? For me, it was Birdman. I disagree with Birdman, but Three Billboards is the most pretentious movie in history.
Oh, he said non-Sorkin. What did he say? What was the question?
Yes, most pretentious, excluding Sorkin, because we've already talked about how pretentious those are. You've ever seen. He says Birdman, which I didn't find pretentious personally.
I mean, I thought Birdman was really good. I mean, I guess I don't know. I thought it was really good. What's the most pretentious movie you've ever seen?
Yes,
that's the question. I don't know. The Lobster's up there.
Oh, come on. We should talk about Yorgos.
I hate The Lobster. I hate The Lobster.
The Lobster I have issues with, but you gotta love Killing of a Sacred Deer and Dogtooth.
I actually haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that one.
Okay, we gotta get on this. You gotta watch Dogtooth and Killing of a Sacred Deer. These are unbelievable movies. You're gonna shit and backflip. Lobster, I agree. Lobster would have been a great short film.
Lobster's
just kept going.
It's everything I hate in a movie. There's no humanity. Everyone just sounds like they're autistic. It's like anti-human, you know? It's all about ideas.
Lobster's not great. Here's the thing. People loved The Lobster. That one caught on, but it's not even close to his best movie. Dogtooth and Killing of a Sacred Deer are fucking amazing, and I think you'd love both of them. I could be
check
wrong.
them out.
Yeah.
I mean, Seven is pretty pretentious. People don't talk about that. That's a pretty pretentious movie.
Yes. Seven. I mean, Three Billboards comes to mind the quickest and the most. I mean, that's like just prevalent.
I'm trying to think of like pretentious is something that really thinks it's so fucking deep.
That's Three Billboards to me.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think what is like the most like it just thinks it's like the deepest fucking thing and it fucking sucks. I feel like
Three Billboards.
Okay.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot these days. That's like most movies.
Yeah. Nomadland is it's subtly pretentious.
Yes.
It doesn't like have like big speeches but it's a subtly pretentious movie.
I love Coppola in Heart of Darkness when he's like, there's nothing worse than a pretentious movie.
Yeah.
It's great. What was the last good movie ever made besides Tarantino movies? That's a little crazy. Why do they only make Marvel movies now? Are my questions dumb or what? That's so funny because I'm like, it is a little bit dumb. There's like tons of great Tarantino movies. There are great movies being made now. There's just not great movies being pushed now. They're not being made by the big studios for $30 million. There are great movies being made. And the reason people like Marvel movies is because people are fucking dumb and they like familiarity and predictability, I think.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's definitely, like on one hand, everyone always thinks shit was better back in the day. But it's also true in this case. I mean, there's not as many great movies as there used to be. It's like a very small shortage, but there's still, I mean, except for this year, which I thought was good, but not great. Like every year before this year, there was one movie that was like one of my favorite movies ever. Like a couple of years ago, it was Roma, then Florida Project, The Irishman. These are some of my favorite movies. So like, there's always a masterpiece each year. Usually,
yeah, there's plenty of great movies. I mean, Manchester by the Sea, we just blew for a whole episode.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like unbelievable. So there are great movies being made. Tarantino is great, but there's other great
to the point. Like I don't know, you're probably a little different, but for me, when people ask me my favorite movies, a lot of times I feel the need to bring up movies I saw in the last 5 years, just because that's the shit I remember really affecting me. You know?
Right.
I mean, you're different, I guess, because you're so like you rewatch so many old movies. You know? Yeah,
I'm trying to think. There's other great movies.
There's so many great movies I said were great that are my favorite movies that I haven't watched in like years. I'm like, I don't know. I hope it holds up, but I don't know. I haven't seen it in so long. You know,
you got to get into some Yorgos. I mean, Killing of a Sacred Deer. You got to shove that right in your ass. I think you'll
really. I mean, I actually did like I enjoyed the Favorite.
Oh, The Favorite's great. That's like his most like digestible.
By the way, that movie is one. You know how you always bring up movies and you're like, that movie's full of shit that never happened. That movie, everything in it did happen. Like I looked it up afterwards. It's like very accurate.
And you see Emma Stone's tit, by the way.
I know. Oh, Emma Stone. I forgot to. She's. So
I know.
hot.
I was thinking that too. She's like yeah.
Maybe her and Birdman for a fuck.
Ooh, that's a good fuck.
Yeah, God, she's so beautiful. God, isn't it upsetting how many people in the world you just want to fuck that you'll never fuck?
Yeah,
it's just like so upsetting. It's just like
I guess what's more upsetting, the climate crisis or that? It's got to be like similar, right? And there's similar feelings.
I literally last night was complaining about the climate crisis, and so quickly moved on to like complaining about not getting enough stage time. Like it was just like in like the same breath. It was.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
This guy Aaron, who's a I want to say a buddy, but a person I know, Boston Aaron. He says, where does the original Red Dawn rank? It doesn't rank high, but I do love it. You probably don't even know Red Dawn. You're one of those guys. I forget. You're like this weird guy.
I feel bad. They think we're like film, like super, like film buffs, and then they're like, "What do you think? Does Deep Throat have its own cultural?" And I'm like, "I've never seen Deep Throat. I've never seen Red Dawn. I saw the second one."
But that doesn't make sense. Like you could still be really into film and not see a porn and like a fucking B action movie. I mean,
I've never seen Predator. I'm not a true. Yeah,
it's not exactly Fellini. I mean,
Red Dawn is the guy who wrote Apocalypse Now, right? John. I think that's the guy. It's like
maybe.
Yeah, John Milius.
Red Dawn is it's hilarious that you're like, people think we're film buffs. I've never even seen Red Dawn, a movie where Russia randomly attacks America and is thwarted by a high school football team and Jennifer Grey. And you're like, I mean, I haven't even seen it. It's not 8.5. It's fucking
you're
the
right.
bicycle thief.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, it's an 80s movie, so I assume it's overrated, and there's a rape scene that's problematic and
a little bit.
And it's not nearly as good as anyone says it is, and all they're really saying is they just like their childhood.
I mean, I love Red Dawn. One of the best opening scenes fucking ever in any movie, where they're all in high school, they're taking a high school history class, and then these guys start what do you call this, parachuting in, all these guys, and the teacher goes, I would say they are very off course, and all the kids like line up in the back to look at it, and the teacher walks out and is like waving, and they just fucking blow them away with a machine gun.
Oh,
doesn't exactly make sense. And then everyone goes running and scattering, and they go to like the sporting goods store, and they grab like rifles and a football and camping gear, and they head out into the woods. I mean, it's a great opening, and it's Patrick Swayze, who's great, and Charlie Sheen and Jennifer Grey.
What is Patrick Swayze, like the principal, or who?
No, he's a kid. He's supposed to be. He just graduated, or maybe he's a senior. I think he graduated. Charlie.
Where are they? Is this like a small town? The Russians have taken over.
Yeah, Russia came and just.
They're like, we want to.
I think they came everywhere. This is just one piece.
Oh, they came. They weren't just like, we're starting with Bakersville. And
no, I think they're everywhere, and it's pretty great. It's a great premise. Then they remade it as like a big super action. I didn't see that one, but Red Dawn. I became a huge University of Michigan football fan because they were the Wolverines. We wanted to be the Wolverines, and so I was obsessed with Michigan.
I'm all Buckeyes. OSU. We're rivals.
Why are you Ohio State? You're not.
First of all, aren't you impressed that I know any of that? I thought you'd be so impressed that I said that all.
Ohio State Buckeye? I mean, I guess. I mean, you know that from Point Break?
No, but I just, my brother went to OSU.
Oh, right.
I thought you'd be more impressed that I just immediately said the rivals of the team you just brought up.
I guess. I mean,
and I got the mascot.
Common knowledge to me. Michigan, Ohio State is not.
Nothing in sports is common knowledge to me. Nothing.
All right, but you knew that. That's great. Oh my God, Raanan. You knew the #1 rivalry in all of sports. That's really interesting. And you know it because you're the nerd school shit, not even the football.
But
I feel like I got wet from that. Oh. If you were like, wow, Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler, I would have been like, what the?
I know what. No, I was thinking Willie Mays. There's a Woody Hayes and a Willie Mays.
There's Willie Mays and Woody Hayes, but they're different. One is like a black guy, and the other one's a white guy that strangled a student from the other team.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I know athletes if they're in movies. You know, I know OJ, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I only know athletes if they're in Naked Gun type movies.
LeBron, I assume you know LeBron James.
No LeBron, but only because of Trainwreck.
Oh right, Trainwreck. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. Well,
I
the
know
questions are pouring in.
But let me ask you, is Red Dawn? I feel like it's like you know how like The Exorcist is stupid, but I guess if you're like an idiot who believes in the devil, maybe it's kind of scary, you know?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing with Red Dawn? Like if you really were worried about the communist coming in, like it could actually be scary, but it's hard to like appreciate now.
Well, I saw it as a kid and it was scary. I mean, that's scary.
Well, you're pretty old. Were you worried about the commies back then?
I didn't know what commies were. I mean, I was pretty young for the Red Scare. I mean, I was born in 1982. I mean, like, I wasn't like, I don't know, you got to keep an eye on fucking Mongolia. I'm like, I'm 39.
Right.
You act like we're like
I'm like 2 years younger.
2 generations different. But I mean, I didn't know anything about the fucking Cold War. I just knew I take a history class and I'm afraid of some army coming in the backyard. But also Top Gun too. There was like just a war going on with pilots. And I was like, I guess we're fighting at war with Russia.
Oh, right. Fuck. By the way, I wanted to say something about City Slickers. I don't think I said, did we talk about City Slickers last time?
A little bit. Oh, that was on the bonus, I think.
Okay.
There's a bonus. Sign up for the Patreon.
Oh, so we did talk about it. Because I just rewatched and I had a couple thoughts about it, but
we taled about it after you watched it. It's on the bonus. So people just tease it.
Never
Folks,
mind.
if you want to hear it,
watch the bonus.
Join the Patreon for, I don't know, $5. I was just in Nantucket. I want to move there. So if everyone could join the Patreon, that would be great. And
Raanan, I know this seems like a Patreon episode, but it is.
This is a great episode.
This is great. I love it.
What's the hardest? We'll do one more. What's the hardest you've ever laughed at a non-comedy movie? That's one question. Yeah, let's just go with that question.
But that means like a funny scene in the movie, or like I'm laughing at
hardest you've ever
getting
laughed.
shot in Schindler's List.
You keep asking as though it's my question. You didn't elaborate. This is Sydney Beach, and he says, or she, Sydney. I can't tell if it's a man or woman. What's the hardest you've ever laughed at a non-comedy movie? I'll just say this real quick. I think it was called Signs. It was one of the M. Night Shyamalan movies, and I went with Dan Bulger, hilarious comedian, and we were high, and it's like one of the worst movies. And people just start walking off the building, like face first. And we fucking bursted out laughing, and then we just couldn't stop laughing. I mean, that's like a this is so shitty, I can't stop laughing. Oh, and a guy walked in front of stuck his face in a lawnmower, and we were like crying laughing. So I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, that definitely counts. Yeah. So that's like, so something that's trying to be serious, but just not like, I mean, I laugh hysterically at every Fast and Furious movie, but I feel like they're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
I'm trying to think of who else too. Yeah, it's hard.
Because it's like, you're saying laughing at like just like a bad scene in a movie. I don't watch a lot of like shit. I'm not like the kind of person who likes watching like The Room or whatever, like shitty movies, you know?
Room?
The Room.
Oh, what's that one?
That's the one where the worst movie ever that everyone like loves watching. I'm not.
Oh, yeah. I don't watch that.
I'm not like, I don't watch a lot of bad movies. So
no,
I
don't.
I don't enjoy watching like bad. Like people are telling us we should review Space Jam, and it's like I can't think of anything worse than having to sit through that. Like I just
but then you watch Fast 9 or whatever.
Because I legitimately think they're good. Like I think they're good, but like I don't know. Maybe that's a guilty pleasure, but they are like so entertaining.
I'm trying to think of some of these. I really got. Next time we do this, we have to do it like beforehand and think about it so we have answers ready.
God, there's something. No, there's something. Ah, fuck.
Yeah,
there's something I thought. Well, I mean, I feel like I already said it, but like the part where Ben Foster punches that Korean woman or Asian woman in Alpha Dog is just so ridiculous that I laugh at that.
I don't know Alpha Dog, but
there was something I would like show people and find so fucking funny. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what? You know what was on? Okay, here's my answer. This is a lame answer, but did you watch the Dylan? You watched the Dylan, the Rolling Thunder documentary?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my answer. I don't know if it counts because it turned out like a lot of stuff was made up for it. But when I didn't think it was made up, there's a part where Bob Dylan is being interviewed and he goes, yeah, that guy got really paranoid. He thought people were spying on him, so he left. It did turn out that Crosby had a bunch of spy tech stuff he bought, and he was spying on everyone in there. And I just laughed. I found that it was like the funniest thing I'd ever. Do you remember that line?
A little bit. I only
It was-
watched it once. I didn't like that it was all fake. I just didn't get it. I wasn't
I
for
didn't
me.
really. Afterwards, I found it was fake. So I'm like, I guess they're trying to be funny for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of annoyed by it. I felt like duped, and I just didn't. I hated it. I resented it.
I loved it, but yeah.
I like No Direction Home. That movie makes me laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about serious movies, laugh. I didn't see it in the theater, but I mean, Bob Johnson, the producer, makes me laugh so fucking hard.
And what
And
was
he's like,
that? Oh.
he's like, no one ever counted out for Dylan. He did whatever the fuck he wanted. He's like, I just tried to get the sound right. He seemed happy. And then he's like, he's got the Holy Spirit. You can tell that by looking at him. The line, I mean, nobody ever counted out for Dylan. He did whatever the fuck he wanted. It's just
That's
so
very
great.
funny.
I mean, that guy's just such a character, classic character. He's hilarious. Let me do one more question. This person asked 3 questions. The other one, what actor, actress, director do you guys disagree on the most? That's a tough one. I mean, I guess John Hughes would have to be. I mean, he's like my number 1 screenwriter of all time.
Yeah,
If
I
you
hate
think he's
John
like an
Hughes.
alt-right
I think he's-
neocon.
I think it's bad. I think what you love is bad.
It's so insane. Like not only do I think John Hughes is amazing, I think he's like the best.
Well, you don't think he's up there with like Alexander Payne, do you?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do. I think he's amazing. I mean, Curly Sue isn't exactly fucking amazing, but the writing in Ferris Bueller is just amazing. Christmas Vacation. I mean, he's just unbelievably good, I think.
Yeah, I guess John Hughes, and for me, it's probably Clint Eastwood with you, right?
Yeah, I mean, a guy he's just made like absolute garbage, like undebatably bad films.
Well, yeah, I mean, so is a lot of great directors. I mean, that's not. But do you think his great movies are bad? Do you think $1 Million Baby is bad?
I didn't like it.
Oh,
I did not like it.
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven, I love. But I also don't think it's like as brilliant as people say. I think it's a great, fun Western. I think it's
I
good.
will say, like, a lot of times screenwriters do not get the credit. Like that was written by David Webb Peoples, who's like a great screenwriter who never gets like the credit. He wrote Blade Runner and 12 Monkeys.
I love 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, he's great. 12 Monkeys is one of my favorites.
So that's one. Oliver Stone is probably another one. Although I see the flaws, but JFK I just think is fucking brilliant and great. And the third question this guy asks is, how much money would I need to raise for you to consider replacing Raanan? I couldn't get it out with a straight face. But he's also very into it. Like, we got so many more questions, but I gotta wrap it up here.
Yeah, well, you know what? Why don't we'll do the other question for Patreon sometime.
Great.
I guess I made you agree to that publicly.
Yes, we gotta. Someone wrote, "Who is Raanan?" That's funny.
Yes.
All right, we gotta wrap it up. But we do have a Patreon. There's multiple bonuses on there.
We got a hot one. What was the other day? I can't remember. I feel like
great.
we did 40 podcasts, but there's one. Yeah. What was it?
We did 2 in a day. I don't know what the fuck we did. We just talked. It was great. We just riffed.
We
it was
just riffed,
in person too.
Oh yeah. This is historical. We did it in person. I finally saw Joe in real life. I've never met him before. It was a huge experience. Yeah.
It was great. So that's on there. So join the Patreon. There's much more where this came from. And, subscribe, review, share, do all the stuff. Tell people about it. Anyone that loves movies, tell them about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's, we're getting heartwarming messages. It's really nice.
Yeah. And check out Mindful Metal Jacket with Raanan, because that was a great one. Where are you going to be? What else is happening?
I'm opening for well, it's sold out, but I'm with Louis, couple places.
Oh yeah, one of them got spicy.
Yeah, they got a little spicy. But we all deserve a second chance and whatnot, and so I'll be. But those are all sold out, so whatever. What else? I'm gonna be with Sam Morrill at a Comedy Off Broadway, August 5th through 7th, and then I'm headlining Comedy Off Broadway on August 8th, and then I'm headlining Planet of the Tapes in Louisville. You can get your tickets there at planetofthetapes.biz, I think, on August nights. Good Nights and Rally, August 20th to 21st. Headlining Helium and Indy, the Upstairs Room, August 27th to 28th. and then Limestone Comedy Festival, September 2nd through 4th.
Hell yeah. I'm at Salt Lake City, Wise Guys, July 30th and 31st. And then Fort Worth, Hyenas, August 6th and 7th.
That's where Towns Van Sant died, Fort Worth.
Oh, how about that?
Steve Earle wrote a song called Fort Worth Blues about it.
I'll check it out right after this.
Do you like Towns? You like Towns, right?
I'm not that familiar with them. I'll have to get in there.
Maybe I'll get a little game, make you a playlist.
Yeah, make me a playlist, and then also you check out some of these Yorgoses so we can talk Yorgos.
Yeah. I'll I'll make you a mix. I'll, do it like with the ladies where I put the love song not first, so you don't
right.
My
High fidelity. All right, this is great. I'm going to send you that other thing, and I'll upload this.
All right, awesome. Take care. Stay safe. Cut.